K-12 is a well-known term defining 13 years of schooling. P16 extends that a bit on both ends. Today and tomorrow, however, education and training must be a lifelong learning experience. Why? Because too many individuals of all ages are being left behind. Because too many companies can't expand due to a lack of skilled workers. Because outstanding talent is the #1 ingredient to growing our economy and enhancing the lives of all Indiana residents.
As a university president and someone who's been in universities for a long time, I don't think there's ever been a time when there's been such a white-hot battle for the best intellectual talent in the world. And it's a truly global battle for talent. And the countries and the states that are going to succeed in the future are those that do the best that they can and the most that they can to nurture and support the intellectual, the academic talent that they have in that state, right across the board.
Too many times there is a disconnect between the skills of those looking for work and the requirements of those employers with the available jobs. It is a costly disconnect for all. In Indiana, we have a history of making things. Today, we continue to do just that, but with more and more products that require science, technology, engineering, and mathematics skills.
Any manufacturer that is successful today almost has to be considered an advanced manufacturing firm. The equipment that's used, the computerization in almost every aspect of manufacturing means that we have to have skilled employees, we have to have math skills, science skills to be able to just compete in the world today.
Credentials and degrees in these areas can help make a difference.
We recognize the vital importance, not just to the state, but to the nation, frankly, of increasing the number of graduates with STEM degrees. Taking STEM disciplines and merging them with areas of application. And that produces a graduate who we know from employers is a very attractive type of graduate.
We must excel at all levels of learning. Recent K-12 reforms need to be accompanied by additional improvements. And we must change the culture to convince Hoosiers of all ages about the value of a strong education. Indiana has excellent higher education institutions. They need to operate at the highest capacity to meet employer needs.
We have more and more students, thankfully, who are entering into the higher education arena. We don't have large new sums of dollars. That means we have to educate more people without more dollars to do so, and that means that we need to build a more productive system. How do we get more students to graduate on time? It builds a much more productive system if you're graduating in 4 years rather than 5 or 6. And it saves the state money, it saves the individual's money as well. So we're focused on issues related to affordability. We're trying to make sure that students understand the decisions they make in terms of borrowing money.
In a recent national report, Indiana earned an A grade for its policy efforts. In other words, a focused attempt is being made to move in the necessary direction.
Sometimes from a sense of crisis you can really have change. Gates uses the expressions that, a crisis can be a pivot for change. So, we are in some ways in a state of crisis in Indiana. We're digging ourselves out of a hole. We need to, educate our workforce at higher levels than ever before. We ranked 40th in the nation in terms of the educational attainment of Hoosiers. We ranked 41st in Hoosier per capita personal income. Those are drivers for change. We won't fail for lack of trying in Indiana. We're willing to embrace ideas that we think will improve student learning and preparation for the workforce. And so consequently, we are leaders, and we're doing things like performance funding formula for our colleges and universities. We're looking at accelerated models for completion. We're looking at aligning K-12 and higher education in terms of career and college readiness. We're really pretty much willing to try anything that we think will improve the life of Hoosiers and the economic strength of our state.
There are business success stories in all corners of the state and in between. there are resources available to take our state's academic performance and preparation of our current and future workers to a higher level. The individual parts must function well together to allow Indiana to be a global leader in innovation and economic opportunity where enterprises and citizens prosper.
I think we have made tremendous strides in Indiana in creating great talent. I mean, if you look at companies like ExactTarget, Steel Dynamics, they're great examples of what's happening in Indiana today. We've done the most important thing. We've identified the problem, we've come up with solutions, and now we have a plan to address those problems. And I am extremely confident that we'll make that happen.